Admiral's log. As I sit down to write this final entry, I cannot help but feel a sense of accomplishment and gratitude for the opportunities given to me by my country. It's been an honor to serve as the head of the Japanese Navy for the past 30 years. I have watched Japan grow and evolve into a true naval power, and I'm proud to have been a part of it. Throughout my career, I have seen many battles, lost comrades, and felt the weight of my responsibilities. I have also witnessed the bravery and dedication of fellow sailors who fought alongside me to protect our nation's interests. I will always cherish the memories of those moments. Now, as an old man, it is time for me to step down and pass the torch to the next generation of naval leaders. I am confident that they will continue to uphold the high standards of the Japanese Navy and lead our country to even greater heights. In closing, I want to express my deep gratitude to my colleagues, superiors, and subordinates. It's been an honor to serve alongside each and every one of you. Thank you for the memories, the lessons, and the legacy that we have built together. Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to episode 48 of the long Japanese campaign. We are operating in the Caribbean today. It's the Maya, the Banjo, and the Gojira, all of the Gojira 1938 class. We are taking on the battleships Locust and Lucifer, one Africa, 14.3s, and one Hood, 16.1s. Heavy cruiser Radstock, and light cruiser Pandora also present. Now these are all owned by the British, so they're all fair game, and all of my ships are my own. I don't have to actually borrow any ships today, so that's a nice relief. It means that my ships are quality ships, as opposed to some of the trash that the AI has built. So let's take out these guys, make sure I don't take too much damage, and continue with the invasion of this little British territory. It would be a very, very valuable position to have. Problem is, if I take too much damage, there is a very high likelihood my ships are going to get teleported back to base. Oh, hello. They're going to get teleported back to base, and as they do that, they will immediately get... or I will immediately be below the required level of tonnage to execute this invasion. Now, Light Cruiser Suma is one of those upgraded 7.5-inch gun cruisers. Very valuable with AP and HE. Isuzu, same situation, and same for the Chikuma. So I can have these boys operate at full speed, 49 knots, and in order to do that, all I have to do is wait. Banjo, Maya have been spotted. The battle cruisers are mostly healthy except for Gojira, she's taken some damage. And it looks like I'm not the only one who has taken some damage. Here we can find the British ships. Definitely a little worse for wear. Weather conditions are not ideal. This cruiser is also a bit shot up. Oh, we're hitting this guy now? Huh. Accidental damage. Let's have the CLs go forward, because I am expecting some smaller things. Like that. Does the game still swap targets to new things that have been detected? No. Not right now. Maintain priority on this target. What are we hitting? Aft belt, aft belt. That's interesting. At this range, you'd really expect plunging fire. But okay, if it's the aft belt, it's the aft belt. Secondaries, the 8.9s are going to take on this light cruiser, which is armed, I don't know, basically like a big destroyer with a couple of 6.1-inch guns. Yes, I know, you cannot get destroyers with 6.9-inch or 6.1-inch guns, but it's pretty close to that. You can get 5.9-inch guns. What happened to you? You got smacked by a 15-inch round for 14,000 damage. Sorry. I don't believe we were actually trying to kill you, but task failed successfully. So, moving on. Maintain focus on this ship. Secondaries still on the CL. CLs still focus it. Hello. 9,378 damage. That was one hit from the 16. Wow. That's refreshing. My ships generally don't take much damage, let alone get destroyed, so this is quite the feat for the AI. I'll give him that much. That's quite the feat. Now I know that my ships aren't that heavily armored, and they're not exactly designed to. These things are mostly built in bulk and rely upon high accuracy and overwhelming amounts of firepower in order to destroy the enemy. So these 15-inch Mark IIIs, I'm going to have to really upgrade those guns, are going to do quite a lot of work here. And hopefully take this thing down before I get smacked around by a 16-inch shell. Right now, though, it seems that they're pretty busy. They're far more interested taking down the light cruisers. Ah, there we go. Flooding. More flooding. What are the BCs doing? Ah, the BCs are fine. I wonder if this ship has damage stability or not. I don't really want to swap my target, though. Considering the firing angle, I kind of doubt we'll be able to actually pen this guy. We might get occasionally lucky. There, it's a partial. Go back to HE. Let's just rain a bit more death on this guy and then swap targets. Isuzu and Suma. Focus this, use HE. Hose him down. Alright. Okay, now AP is probably a better option. Yeah, now, my friend, you're in trouble. Alright. Get rid of these ships. I don't like losing a light cruiser, but that happened fairly unexpectedly and extremely quickly. So, that is the hand we were dealt by the AI. Now we'll just have to make work what we have left. CLs, hard turn. Make yourselves a very difficult target. For some reason they really want you dead. And if they want to focus on that, then yeah, sure, by all means. I mean, try and hit something that does 49 knots in a turn, and let me know how it goes. Locust. 24.5% damage stability, 50% now. That was a couple of really good smacks that she got there. Lucifer, 48% damage stability. Accuracy is still 5.5%. That's actually a little scary. How are you this accurate? I really don't want you to be this accurate. You got a 7% accuracy with such a debuff. Not if you target a CL, you know. It's the Mark II 16. You got the Mark III 14. Okay. Well, so be it. Accuracy on my end is about 7%. They got the 0.3 and 1.2. Okay. Now this CL, the Pandora, can torpedo me. I'm not sure it will. Let's swap around to the Lucifer again. Hit them with a couple of AP shells. Let's see if this thing wants to stay afloat or not. My partial pens. How much armor you got? That's a really big armor belt. Okay. Also, superstructure 3.5 inch. That's... It's not pushing it for my shells. But it is quite a lot. Just, yeah. These things are vulnerable to fire. Standard bulkheads, cramped quarters, your crew starts dying, you snowball into a big blast. These guys, slightly more likely to survive. Maximum bulkheads, but cramped quarters as well. But I'm really not seeing a whole lot of fires being set. CL, smoke yourself up. You're pretty close to the target now. You still drawing attention? Yeah. And they still can't actually get them. Oh, this is glorious. They only gotta get lucky once, as we've seen with the, well, whatever, the dead light cruiser. But, come on. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. 2,500 damage total. 2,600, 28. Come on, the Lucifer is wide open to attack. Ooh, and the CL is right next to it. Put the 8-inchers on the CL. Kill the Pandora before she fires more torps at us. Yep, good damage. Damage to main guns, more fires are being set. 31% of the crew is dead. It means their reload's going to be pretty bad right about now. CL's this way. DC's that way. What's your range, Pandora? 22 kilometers, so I'm well within torpedo range. Yeah, and she just launched against the Maya. That's interesting. She didn't pick the lead ship. Hard over. She didn't pick the lead ship. Normally they just pick the leader of a formation and they go, here, have a torp. This time around they picked the Maya. The second ship of the group. Okay. Credit where credit is due. These British battleships can definitely take a beating and survive. Do I need to start upgrading this class to get 16-inch guns? It feels like the 15s, even with pretty good shells on them, they're not really cutting it anymore. These things have semi-ballistic AP shells, so they can definitely be improved. But it feels like I'm just not quite getting the expected result. There you go, that's the Lucifer. Now, are we going to whack the Pandora quickly, or are we going to... No, we're going to do the battleship. Okay. Which immediately starts taking hit after hit after hit. And this one does seem to have a lot of issues with fire. There we go. Okay, now 1 or 2 good hits against the Pandora. And we can go... Well, no, we can't go home. We're here for an invasion, so we'll stay. You can go. There we go. You hang up the phone first. That's a torpedo and that's a battlecruiser. That's safe. I don't think my battlecruisers took any real damage. Mostly the ships seem very, very capable and very, very okay. Except for Chikuma. Except for Chikuma. That ship got a little unlucky. Which means that the AI did get some points. Fair is fair. But they didn't get anywhere near as many points as I did. Okay. Let's have a look at the rest. Where are we meeting elsewhere? Unfortunately, it looks like both the invasions of Georgetown and Singapore, all the way on the other side, didn't go through. So we're going to have to do it again, play this little game of roulette. I have a fairly sizable fleet around the port of Singapore. Sorry, the port of Hong Kong. Right. Never mind. I'm going to try these invasions again. I really want to get these ports, ideally before the British decides to fold. I have a fairly healthy amount of victory points at this stage. The war with Germany is just non-existent, really. I think anything that happens to leave any of the German ports runs into a minefield. But right now, I'm barely seeing any German ships. So the real question is, do they even have any? And the answer is, well, not really. I got 3 destroyers and 9 submarines, and that's the extent of the German fleet. So that begs the question, what battleship is in Emden? Because Emden is a German port, and sure enough, there's a battleship there worth 69,000 tons. How is it off the books? Because... well, they're repairing one. Is that the battleship that they're fixing up? I'm not really sure. Anyway, research-wise, not too many interesting things happening. I'm still waiting for Radar Rangefinder 3. I'm still looking forward to getting better guns. The 23s, aka the 20-inch Mark 3s, are okay, but still not exactly worth it, although I'll probably build a ship at some point with those guns, or refit some ships. Maybe one of the Divine Broadsides to have such an upgrade as to have 20-inch guns. I mean, there are 151,000-ton platforms. They might as well. I'm keeping a little bit of my shipbuilding capacity open in order to repair ships if and when necessary. And beyond that, well, we're kind of waiting for this war to end so we can look towards the United States in such a fashion as to potentially going on the offensive against them. Alright, as the Kinpu closes on another convoy, time for some potentially bad news. I have been playing this campaign for a long time, as you know. This is episode 48. And I'm doing this recording session. It's basically been an hour and a half of just clicking through the game, waiting for something interesting to happen, hoping that I'm actually going to get a challenge. And just nothing happens. It's, oh, you're getting hit by a submarine. Auto-resolve. Your divine broadside is being attacked by a destroyer. The destroyer just runs away. Light cruisers chasing a convoy. It's... I'm sorry guys, it's enough of the Dreadnoughts for me, or at least this campaign. For now, this is going to be the last episode. I know it's a bit rough of an ending. It's not the way I wanted to end this. I would like to have taken on the US. But seeing as the US ships are pretty awful as well lately. I mean, in the previous episode we saw what those ships were like, and they're just... they're as bad as everything the AI designs. And I shouldn't have expected anything different. Because, you know, it's the AI. They're going to design the same old ships for Japan, or, well, China in this case, as they are for the US, as they are for the French, as they are for the Germans. The AI is just not competitive. And I just can't do it anymore. I can't be bothered. I'm not having fun with the game anymore. It's a lot more of a hassle than anything else. It's... I don't know. Like, early games, early campaigns are pretty interesting because you're still on tech parity and somewhat ship parity, like strength parity with the AI. When it comes to later game, and this can happen as soon as 5 years into a campaign, potentially more, you just start to snowball. Your research speeds up, the AI keeps building awful ships. No. Again, I didn't want it to end like this. I don't really have a better, different, ideal way of wrapping it up. I think Japan has expanded enough. And I think that the Admiral from the Admiral's logs would be proud. Thank you for joining the series. Thank you for pushing me on with all the fun ships that I've been building. Thank you for endorsing me in the Divine Broadside. I hope you guys enjoyed those ships. But this will be the last episode, the last bit of this campaign. I'm not going to be doing another one. I've noticed that the views for Dreadnoughts are down a lot. To the point where I simply cannot continue with this game. Because the views are so bad, relative to the time invested, that economically it simply isn't feasible to make videos on this game anymore. Maybe the one-off, maybe some fun things, maybe I'll do a patch review every once in a while, but for now, this is it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the campaign, thank you for joining, and potentially see you soon for some other naval games or other videos. Thanks for watching guys, see you soon.